Welcome and hello. This is Transparency Talk, and I'm Christina. Today's guest is Terrance Hopkins, the president of the Black Police Association of Dallas Police Department. Thank you, Terrance, so much for being here today, taking time out of your busy schedule. How are you?
I'm fantastic, and thanks for having me.
You look great.
Thank you, so do you.
Thank you. So we're going to have a little bit of candid conversation with you, ask you a couple of questions. Obviously, you're a police officer. So what do you like to do when you're not in uniform?
Play golf.
Golf.
I'm a golfer, so I love to play golf. If I'm doing right, I'm working out too. And I like events. I like all types of events. So I try to stay busy. I try to unplug from police work.
Right.
It's a very dangerous world that we live in, so I'm very versatile.
What type of events?
What type? So I like plays. I like the arts. I like travel. I like different sporting events: baseball, football, basketball. I like monster truck rallies. I like motocross. So if it can be done, I probably don't mind spectating. I do NASCAR races.
Oh, wow.
I go to the Indianapolis 500 every year. So I move around.
You mentioned monster trucks, and typically men from the city, that's not what they're into. Where are you from?
I'm from Oklahoma, so I'm a country boy, I guess.
Where in Oklahoma?
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Tulsa. So, but are you a Dallas Cowboys fan, or
Not necessarily.
why not?
I'm not a Dallas guy, so I'm really not. Wasn't born and raised with Dallas Cowboys, so I'm just not really. I watch them. I like competitive football, but I don't really have a particular team as a favorite.
So no favorite basketball, football team,
Not really.
no hockey team. I'm a Dallas girl, so obviously I'm a Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Mavs, Dallas Stars.
Right.
But I am an LA Laker fan as well. So when you watch sports, what team do you particularly favor? But you don't have a favorite.
The one that's gonna win.
Even if it's the underdog?
Even if it's underdog.
Even if it's the underdog.
Yeah.
So you mentioned travel. Give me your top 3 destinations.
My top 3 that I've been to or would like to go to.
Give me both.
Both. All right. So the 1 or 2 that I haven't been to that I would like to go to that are tops is Bora Bora, Malta, and probably Dubai.
Okay. Do you speak any other language?
I speak a little Spanish. I dabble in some Spanish.
Some Spanish.
Yes.
Work-related Spanish or leisurely Spanish when you travel?
Well, of course, it started as work-related because on the police department you have to speak a little bit of Spanish. So it started there, but as I started traveling to the Caribbean, which is Spanish-speaking, I learned, I guess, more of traveling Spanish. So can be conversational a little bit.
So you can survive.
Not too crazy. Well, I can survive in Spanish-speaking
A
countries.
couple days or a couple of
No,
weeks?
I could survive.
You can survive.
No doubt.
Okay, then I know who to come to. If I can't find the police station, come find
Right.
you.
Yeah, but thanks to the police department, they give us so many hours of Spanish. I think we did. I think 40.
Is it
hours
required? Is
Spanish.
it mandatory?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, because Texas is such a Spanish-influenced state that our TCO license requires us to get so much Spanish to be able to talk to our Spanish citizens.
And you do know that September is Hispanic Heritage Month.
Oh, or
you
even
aware of
invited
that?
to an event.
I'm sure you're going because you like events.
So-
What's your favorite food?
Favorite food? That would be.
You're a steak guy? Please don't say you're a steak and potato guy. All guys say steak and potato.
I used
Give
to
me
be-
something else.
I used to be, but it had become basically lasagna. Yeah. So that would probably be my favorite.
Can you cook it?
Used to be steak and potatoes.
See, is that the country guy in you, or is it
It's
just
very country.
steak and potatoes? No veggies,
Of course. I mean, stick with the main stuff.
no bread, other than potato.
I love bread.
You love bread.
All day, every day.
Oh God, that's a lot of yeast.
Love
So
bread.
can you cook the lasagna?
I can cook, but I have not dabbled in making lasagna. I prefer to leave that up to the experts. because 7-layer lasagna is no joke. Can't play with it.
7-layer lasagna?
Mm-hmm. You gotta get the real stuff.
Interesting. So you've been to Italy, obviously.
No, I'm not.
Really?
But I try to do the authentic Italian restaurants, right?
Mhm.
So just like we're, close proximity to Mexico, we try to do the authentic Mexican, not the Tex-Mex, but the authentic.
No Tex-Mex Mexican food either?
As a favorite? No,
No.
not as a favorite.
So, you kind of given me, like, you're a guy's guy. You're into NASCAR, monster truck, sporting events,
Mm-hmm.
golf. Any other sport have you ever played in college, maybe?
I played everything. I played everything but soccer.
In college?
No.
Okay,
no.
yeah, I'm thinking, how many scholarships is that? But no, seriously.
Yeah. Well, my college career was ended with a shoulder injury, and that pretty much wrecked it for football and baseball.
What position did you play?
Corner.
Quarterback.
Mhm.
And in baseball, what?
Let's see, second base, shortstop, outfield, kind of all purpose. Mm-hmm.
So you're an all-around guy. Do you ever get bored with anything? Since you seem to love everything, is there anything
Not
that
really.
bores you?
Not really. I can sit out on the patio and be just as happy. So I don't always have to be doing anything.
Because you're a country guy.
That's pretty much it.
Oh,
I can listen to the crickets. It doesn't matter.
So you're not really an extrovert or an introvert. It doesn't matter. Very open-minded. Do you like to read?
I like to read about money, investments. Yes. Yeah. So I'm not gonna read a Harlequin man.
So no love story.
I'm not gonna read. I mean, I'll read a little history, but for the most part, it is a financial-based reading for me.
So if you were not a police officer, is there any other career that you had considered or would have considered?
I started off going down the engineering road, but most likely, since I've owned a few businesses, probably just be straight up entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur. What type of business?
That I would get into,
Like
or
an ice
that
cream
I've
shop,
been.
retail?
Oh no.
What's wrong with ice cream?
I mean, that's just not it. I mean, that's just not it. So I've owned a gym before. I owned a gym for 15 years in North Dallas. I still own a valet trash company. We have contracts throughout the city for a valet trash service. And I had an automotive warranty company for years that I kind of put on ice until I retired.
And as a public servant, are you really big about community service?
Of course, yes. That's what this organization was really founded on, was bridging the gap between law enforcement and the community. So community service is a big part of not only this organization that I'm the president of, but in my personal life as well. Because I believe for every one of us that make it, we have to go back and show others how to do it.
So would it be more so feeding the homeless, domestic violence victims? Like everyone has like their very charitable nonprofits, and some have Habitat for Humanity, Salvation Army. Which one is one that you possibly contribute to the most?
So I've done all of those, and so I enjoyed
Obviously.
building houses for Habitat, feeding homeless, done that too. But you didn't mention, I would be more inclined to the mentorship of young people, young men.
High school, young
Doesn't matter.
adults, doesn't matter.
Does not matter, because not enough of us get back to those guys. So, that's something that I just, in the black community, when we have a very big shortage of fathers in the home, I think that's where one of our greatest issues or losses is the fact that a lot of young men don't have. I would say, let me make sure I say this right, the proper role models in their lives, because some people have been given the title of role model, and they're really not role models.
And even in mentorship, not everyone can
Correct.
mentor. There's
Right,
different
so
channels to that.
The right people have to be those people.
The right people.
The right
Is
people.
it about perspective, principle?
There's more principle in it, for me. Because again, if you can have a title, you can have a title of a lot of things. I could be president and be completely useless.
You're completely useless.
I could be. I could be. I'm not. So, I mean, a lot of people have empty titles. you know. But you know, if you put the work in behind the title, you're real with it, and people see that. So
Do you play any instruments?
used to. I started off. I started off wanting to play the saxophone, but my family was poor, so I couldn't buy. They couldn't buy me a saxophone early on. So my music teacher said, "Well, hey, this is very close to a saxophone." So I started playing the bassoon,
I
which
have
is
no
a woodwind
idea.
family.
That is okay.
It's about as tall as you. It's a heavy woodwind. It resembles a saxophone, but it's a woodwind, and that's what I started off playing.
Would you prefer brass or wood as an instrument?
Well, since I learned to play that, probably would. The saxophone was sexier, you know, but
Got you all the girls?
no, I didn't. I never started to play it. I dabbled in it after it, but it was already
So
over.
no guitar, no piano.
I have 2 guitars. I play a little piano, but I don't own one. Mhm.
So music, jazz, R&B,
All.
all the country,
All.
gospel.
Every bit of it.
I think your brain is like a 747. You just go on and on everything that you
found-
do.
Well, I mean, I found good music in a lot of different genres. So, I was playing golf yesterday, listening to Stevie Ray Vaughan, B.B. King, and straight up country. So,
That was alluding to my next question. So give me like your top 3 R&B artists or top 3 jazz, male and female.
oh my gosh.
Is that a hard
Let's
question?
see. Top 3 jazz. Now, these are old greats, probably not
Ella Fitzgerald,
new greats.
John
No, not
Coltrane.
that old. So I would say Najee. I would say Wayman Tisdale, which is from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Now just made it to the NBA. And I would say I could throw the typical Kenny G in there, but I would say Kirk Whalum or Candy Dulfer.
So no females.
Candy Dulfer she's a
With an
white
S.
female saxophone
Plural.
player.
As in plural, more than one. So no Anita Baker, no Tony Braxton.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I was thinking jazz artists,
Jazz and R&B.
horns, things like that is what I was thinking. So my apologies, my mind slipped. So,
You have a broad spectrum of a resume here.
well, it's that way. So, I like so much. It's hard for me to pick that one. There's no particular just favorite because I think so many people do a great job of putting out good music. There's just a lot of it. So I listen to it and take it in.
You definitely have to hire someone who knows what they're doing to write your bio. And so I really want to thank you today for your time, for helping me learn more about you. But that is all the time that we have today. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to Transparency Talk. Stay tuned.